Good morning. It's Thursday, November 4th, and I have some good news today. The Senate Democrats who have been working on these two bills have finally come to agreement on one thing that is very important and very, very good that they have come to this agreement, especially for the seniors in this country. They have come to an agreement that Medicare can negotiate the prices, not on every single drug, but on a specific set of drugs. And an interesting fact came out in this discussion that I was watching. The Veterans Administration is allowed to negotiate the prices of drugs, but Medicare was not allowed to negotiate the price of drugs. But under this new agreement, to be allowed to negotiate the price of drugs, this is not the greatest agreement in the world, but it's a start. And the drugs that they will be able to negotiate have to pass through the time limit that pharmaceuticals have a copyright on those drugs. And in some cases, that's a 9-year protection, and in other cases, it's a 12-year protection. So drugs that have come out into the public domain are drugs that could be negotiated. And Medicare could start negotiating up to 10 drugs in 2023. And the prices they negotiate would take place 2 years later in 2025. And then by the year 2028, Medicare could negotiate up to 20 medications. Now, this doesn't sound like such a big deal. It doesn't sound like a great deal to me. I don't understand why they can't negotiate all drugs. But I guess the pharmaceutical industry has a lot of leverage, a great amount of leverage. We got Kristen Sinema, who was against this entire deal, but she has finally come into the deal, and I guess these limits that they're putting on how much Medicare can negotiate is got her into the deal, so this will finally pass, But it seems to me that it's kind of like a limited deal. The other interesting thing in this deal is that the price of insulin would be capped at $35 a month, so that anybody who has diabetes and needs insulin would not be paying more than $35 a month. Now that's a good thing, because insulin could cost a lot more, and probably does cost a lot more under the current situation. And it also said they're going to redesign the drug plan for seniors so that people with disabilities don't pay more than $2,000 a year for the medication bought at the pharmacy. Now, those are good things. Those are all good things, even though for some people $2,000 a year is a pretty high cap, I would guess. So all in all, they've made a big step forward with this Medicare plan. But I'll tell you what lingers in the back of my mind. I don't understand why this portion of the bill was taken out of the bill and had to be renegotiated. I don't understand how the right to negotiate medications by Medicare affects the cost of this bill. That should be a zero cost. What is the government spending to get the right to negotiate drugs? Why would it be cut and reduce the cost of this bill if Medicare negotiations was left out of the bill? I can't find an answer to that question. I mean, are we saying that we, the government, are paying something outrageous, some fee somewhere, in order to negotiate a drug price? Do you get it? Do you get how they calculate the cost of these bills? Be able to negotiate with drug companies, how much is that costing us? Some people who work for Medicare, and they would be responsible for negotiating drugs. How does that cost of that function can be removed from the bill? I don't understand how they calculate the cost of these bills. I can understand in infrastructure. You say we're going to spend $100 billion on the roads. I understand that. That's pretty simple. You got labor, you got materials, you got everything. What does it cost to negotiate for drug prices? What is it costing Medicare to be able to negotiate drug prices? Nothing. You have people who work for Medicare. Oh, maybe you got to hire 2 or 3 negotiators. That can't cost a lot of money. A couple $100,000 if you want good, talented people to work on this project. So I don't get it. I don't understand how the cost of this bill at $1.25 billion, trillion, whatever the number was, how that cost can be reduced. They took the Medicare negotiation out of the bill. Does that make any sense to you? Doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, I'm not the greatest brain in the world, but it still doesn't make any sense at all. And I can't find anything in these articles that indicate how they were saving the money by cutting this out of the bill. Seems to me the only people that were making out like bandits would be the drug companies. If we, Medicare, can't negotiate or couldn't negotiate with them until this happens, then the drug companies are making more money. So the only loser in the deal, if we couldn't negotiate this price, would be us, the public. We would be losing. But I don't see how it's costing us anything to take it out of the bill. That's a conundrum for my feeble mind to try and figure it out. I'm going to go and see if I can find the answer to that. And if I find the answer, I will let you know in a future rant. Meanwhile, I'm happy that we have made a little bit of progress in this major item, negotiating drug prices. That shouldn't even be an issue. It should never be an issue. The government should be able to negotiate any kind of price they want. They're doing good for the country. Why can't they negotiate? It's business. It's a simple fact of business life. You can negotiate the price of anything. In any event, I will leave you with that this morning, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.